But you know what it made me realize? This whole conversation today, whenever myself in particular, but Don also, go off the rails and get too much into the silliness, there's always like this, we got to bring it back to serious sports. And then the moment something silly happens with the national anthem, Don, you would have thought the Malice at the Palace happened last night, the amount of conversation about this national anthem.
Well, when everybody's talking about it, it's probably a good idea to have an opinion on it, no?
Is it everybody that big? Was it that big a story?
Well, first of all, I didn't realize that we had to have an anthem before a home run derby.
You and I are so sympathetic. I said on the show with Dave today, I went, we really have to have the national anthem before the Derby? I mean, it's sports event adjacent.
Yeah.
And then Dave pointed out, but you do it before every sporting event. I'm like, it's so crazy. We are a crazy country. I just tell everyone, we're crazy. What does patriotism have to do with a random home run
because nobody
derby?
wants to be the first one to say we're not doing it. And you know, in the current climate that we're in,
oh boy,
if for some reason they didn't do the anthem last night, people would be freaking out. What do you want, American? You're unpatriotic. But I don't know. It just seemed a little over the top. I mean, it's sports event adjacent, right? It's an event, but it's not a game. I mean, the idea is before a game, but I guess now before any sporting event, there has to be an anthem. And it was performed poorly.
I mean, but what do you think about this version?
Can you see early light? Okay, I'm done.
Who was that?
Who do you think?
You know what?
I don't know.
That was Griffin.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah, we had him give it a shot.
Now that you know who it is, you're like, you know what? It's not that bad.
No, he did all right, I think.
If anybody else, I would have graded differently. But with him, I'm willing to grade it on a curve.
Well, now it turns out that the young lady who sung the national anthem last night that everyone's been talking about, this horrifying rendition, she put out a statement earlier today apologizing for what happened, saying she was drunk and that she's checking into rehab. But then she sort of told on herself, in my opinion, that the statement was a little bit, maybe forced. Is forced the wrong word?
Well,
convenient?
Here it is, okay?
Please read it.
This is Ingrid Andress, who there's a song of hers that I like.
Okay.
So I knew of her. I didn't recognize her last night, but then after everything kind of went down, I'm like, oh, yeah, I did download one of her songs. I do like one of her songs. She's very good. So this isn't somebody that's talentless. She's a ton of talent. She's had a really bad night.
Bad night.
So we're all thinking, was she sick? Was she ill? There was speculation that maybe there was some sort of a protest, although I don't know why there would be a protest, and you wouldn't know what she's protesting. That would be a poor protest.
Well, there's a lot of protesting like that.
But in this particular case, you'd like to have some idea if there was a protest, but no, it wasn't a protest. So she came out with this statement, which I don't know how to take it, Peter. Well, I actually do know how to take it, but I'm wondering if you agree with me. This is her statement. I'm not going to BS, y'all. I was drunk last night. I'm checking myself into a facility today to get the help I need. There was not me last night. I apologize to MLB, all the fans, and this country I love so much for that rendition. Okay, and if that was it, I'd be like, okay,
perfect,
fine. Let's get up. Let's get off the subject. But then she continued, unfortunately. I'll let you all know how rehab is. I hear it's super fun.
That's my jam.
So are you going to rehab? Is this some joke? Are you just going to rehab so the world's supposed to feel sorry for you? You lose me in that last sentence. And I think you said it off the air during our meeting. I'm sure her PR department's like, really? That's a bad job with that last sentence. So I don't know whether to take her seriously, whether she's just trying to be lighthearted in a serious moment. Again, this is text, so you don't know tone. Maybe if she issued a video and you'd be saying, oh, she was just kind of joking. She's trying to be lighthearted. It just comes across as you're not really taking this seriously. So let the jokes commence. And the other thing I'm going to throw out there, too, I doubt very seriously that she was at some saloon around the corner from the stadium and got all hammered and showed up drunk. She was probably consuming alcohol at the event. which happened to Joe Namath when he had his incident at the Jet Titan game. That's what happened to Brett Hull at the parade when he's singing Gloria, completely intoxicated. It seems like these people all get juiced up at the event that they're at. Maybe it's time to kind of dial down the free drinks when you're asking somebody to perform and be in front of a microphone.
I think I got your number, Gloria.
You know, on a night where somebody's being honored, maybe don't get them hammered before they've got to go talk to the 80,000 people in front of a microphone. Like maybe some of these sports organizations and teams.
It's on the person.
I get it. Listen, I'm not an enabler.
She obviously has a problem.
I'm not. That's fine. I'm just saying that. Is it so wrong that when you know somebody's going to sing an anthem or somebody's going to go on television or somebody's going to grab a microphone, that somebody at least keeps an eye to make sure that they're okay? And if they're not okay, then pivot. Now, listen, Brett Hull was at a parade. No harm, no foul, right? No big deal. He might have embarrassed himself. Knowing Brett Hull, he was probably pretty comfortable.
I think I got your number, Gloria.
Sounded great.
And with the Jets, maybe they didn't realize he'd be on Monday Night Football's microphone.
Well, he wasn't. He wasn't working that night.
No, he wasn't. But I'm just saying is that you do realize that these public figures might end up in front of a microphone. It's kind of just for their own sake, kind of keep an eye. Listen, it's Ingrid's fault. If she's got a problem, she's got a problem. You know, she's a big girl. She's an adult. She should be able to govern her own drinking. But you know, don't feel bad for Major League Baseball when it's possible that the alcohol she consumed was on them. Okay, bars do get in trouble for letting somebody leave intoxicated when they get behind the wheel of a car. Nobody is taking the responsibility away from the person that makes the decision to get behind the wheel.
But when you have a celebrity who's enlisted for something like this,
okay,
they have a green room, and they probably have their rider. And on the rider, it was probably 2 bottles of tequila.
Okay.
And then she was with her people sitting around probably getting drunk.
Okay.
It's not really on anyone except her.
Okay. No,
that's my guess.
I agree it's on her.
I mean, baseball
but also,
shouldn't say, no, we can't
she's not the only victim in this thing. I mean, Major League Baseball's embarrassed, right? It's their event. And now this thing is going viral. Nobody's opening the show. Maybe we should, but I'm saying that nobody's talking about the home run derby. Nobody's talking about how much fun they had watching the broadcast. This is what they're talking about today.
I don't want to steal point guard at 308.
All right, no, steal.
It's the only reason anyone talks about the home run derby. No one would have talked about the home run derby at all.
But that's
it wouldn't have even been mentioned.
But it's
been number one story all day.
But that's not what Major League Baseball wants.
I get it. But at least people will have some awareness next year.
I would actually applaud them if they were the ones saying, let's get her drunk. Maybe she'll do something stupid and we'll actually get some attention.
So if it was intentional,
at least by design,
you'd appreciate it.
You know, I mean.
But here, let's go back to the statement though. Because when you see someone puts out the statement and blames it on an alcohol thing, it already reeks of like cleanup. Let's tell the story our way. How do we explain this? Okay, I was drunk. Okay? Because, by the way, I'm sure there are a lot of people out there listening who can sing really well that go, oh, I've killed it drunk before. It doesn't mean you had to be horrible just because you were drunk. Many great artists get on stage, get inebriated, and still absolutely kill it.
Oh, a lot of them.
So
some of them can't perform otherwise.
Right, exactly. So it's not necessarily the answer. So I'm looking at it and going, all right, you gave a statement saying you have a problem. I have a great deal of respect for people deciding when it's time to go into program. Good for her. But the end of that statement, man, I hear it's a great time. Don, it's sort of like laughing in the middle of the apology.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like you're taking it very serious.
By the way, I just heard this recently. Her behavior was so deplorable that I've actually heard she's in line to do the Yankees-White Sox series in 3 weeks. It's unbelievable. They already booked her over in the Bronx. Can you believe that?
Interesting.
Yeah.
I did not realize.
Not what I expected, but they said when you get out, first stop, Yankee Stadium.
So, listen, not a big deal. I'm embarrassed for her. She needs to know better. And if she does have a problem, hopefully she takes it seriously, Peter, because if you're not going to admit you have a problem, then you're wasting your time.
Well, she pseudo-admitted she had a problem, but then she made it a joke. And
right. So,
listen, she's going to find out.
If she treats the rehab as a joke, she'll get nothing out of it.
Well, she'll find out quickly whether or not she's about that life. And listen, there are a lot of people who go to rehab many times and don't take it seriously till the 7th. You know what I mean? You got to get there when you're ready to get there. But I will tell you, I'm just being honest. I hate to say this. This was not bad for her career. This was huge.
No, it's music, man. There is no.
Yeah, you don't listen. It's not like she was, whatever. She's not a teacher. She's not a college professor who acted inappropriately. She's a musician who got drunk. Now, Don, I never knew who this person was. Now she has an entire story when she comes back.
I was flipping around because it seems like there's a country music awards every month.
Oh, no one has more awards.
And I think ABC had it one time a couple of years ago, or one of the events, and it spilled past 11 o'clock, and I was going to watch the news. And apparently she won Song of the Year. This is the song I know her for.
Okay.
Maybe you've heard it.
If I bring you home to mama, I guess I better warn ya. She falls in love a little faster than I.
Beautiful song, beautiful voice.
That's my jam.
I like it. And I downloaded it like an old man, and it pops up every once in a while on my
I like it.
my iPad, and I'll listen.
That's my jam.
So, but Peter's right. There is
That's a win.
the one area of the world where it doesn't matter. You don't have to be politically correct. You don't have to be sober. You don't have to do the right thing as in music.
I like this one. You heard this one, Don?
Maybe I'm just wishful drinking.
That's my jam.
Something to sink.
No, she was wishful drinking last night. Matter of fact, she didn't have to wish much. She was there. So, but
That's
right.
my jam.
It's a shot in the dark.
No, she's good. She's a good poppy country singer. I enjoy her.
Listen, there is no.
Her streams are going to be up so high tomorrow. Dude, I have now played her. Hold on. This woman who I've never heard of in my life, and she has a lot of streams. I'm not trying to downplay her. She's a big deal. She's just not in our world, either mine or yours.
Well, she was partially in my world for that song.
For 1 second, when you accidentally were on either the CMTs or the, you don't even know what
how
show
you
it was. Discover
things.
I'm just saying, she's not in your day-to-day world. You don't flip to country. You don't do you flip on the country station on Sirius a lot?
But outlaw country? No, I do not.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm
not a fan.
So she's tangentially in your world, and I now have played her. I've done 3 radio shows today, which is already a problem, but I've done 3 radio shows today. I've played her on all 3 shows.
So, no,
it's a good day for whatever her name. Ingrid Andres.
Yeah, but when what was it? When Randy Johnson threw a pitch and killed a pigeon, it was like a big deal, and it was like he almost got arrested.
Right.
When Ozzy bit off the head of a bat, people thought it was adorable. When Alice Cooper threw a chicken in the crowd and that chicken was absolutely torn apart, and Alice said, "I thought it could fly," people thought it was funny, and it's something we talk about. But obviously, when you get in more buttoned-up industries, it's bad. But in music, you're right. It's probably going to end up helping her career. But if she does have a serious problem, then hopefully she will get that corrected for sure.